I want to share with you one very important statistical concept today: regression to the mean. In short, this concept is saying on average, maybe this your performance is here. So because it's average, so doesn't necessarily you always will be average. Your performance for something will fluctuate, right? Then the regression to the mean is say when you reach your max performance, the next date or next hour, most likely your performance will be lower than your max performance because that's your max. So more likely you will not maintain your max. Maybe for the best, you will still perform as good as you did yesterday, but more likely than not, your next day's performance will be either like slightly better than average, or below average. So that's why call why statisticians say regression to the mean, because by definition your average is here, then your fluctuation is here. If you reach your maximum, next time most likely you will become worse than that. If you reach your lowest point, minimum, then in the next time step, in the next time you do this, most likely you are doing slightly better. So that's regression to the mean, because by definition, majority of your time will be around this average area. So when you reach the maximum or minimum, very likely for the next time step, you will perform worse or better. So that's regression to the mean. Very, very important statistic concept. And the trick is you need to make sure your averages won't change over time. Because something like the inflation or like a stock market price over the last 100 years, it's basically increased because your averages increase over time. So you couldn't use that to measure these kind of things, but you can definitely make sure this average doesn't change very much. And why this concept is important, let me give you one example. A lot of people have theories like always when someone performs very well and they praise them, the next time, next day, or just the next game, they say one basketball player performed very well, then the coach just praised him, and next game he performed very bad. So the coach's conclusion is you couldn't really praise people because every time you praise them, they become worse next time. And they also reach another conclusion is whenever someone performs very bad, let's say this basketball player scoring really, really badly this game, then this coach scored him. The next game, he performed so much better. So he concluded that scolding someone is really effective. And when someone performed really well, you couldn't praise them. Why they have this kind of thinking is because when you praise someone, it's very likely they perform far better than their average performance. So next game, when they play, very likely they will perform worse than what they did yesterday, because regression to the mean, don't forget it. And when someone performs really, really badly, really badly in one game, and very likely they'll perform better next game. So when people score the player when they play very badly today, they found out, actually, every time I score them, then they perform significantly better than they did yesterday, tomorrow. So they drew the conclusion you couldn't praise player, and when player perform not good, you can really score them. It's definitely just because of a regression to the mean. But what they don't know is they are actually trapped in this regression to the mean things. Actually, you're praising your scoring doesn't affect anything because regression to the mean. So that's a very important, interesting concept, and many people are like fooled by this concept. Hope this explanation will be helpful for you. And if you would like to receive more psychologists, behavioral economics, things like this, like today's concept, don't forget to subscribe. And other than that, I'll see you next time.